Hey, good morning YouTube. We are here in New York City for our third day. Behind me you can see the spire of Trinity Church. That is the burial place of Alexander and Eliza Hamilton. We'll be attending a laying of the wreath there tomorrow. We're catching a train uptown here in a few minutes to visit a Revolutionary battlefield, but since the station was next to Trinity Church, we stopped in and visited Alexander's grave. We're going to be here tomorrow for the wreath laying ceremony, but that's going to be a lot more crowded, so we just paused for a moment to pay our respects. We visited the St. Paul's Episcopal Church in Westchester, New York, which was the site of several Revolutionary War battles. Then we went to the Morris Jumel Mansion. The Morris Jumel Mansion, which you see in these pictures, was the headquarters of George Washington during the war. It was later on the home of Aaron Burr. It was actually used as a headquarters by the commanding officers of three different armies. George Washington for the Continentals, also for General Clinton of the British Army, and Baron von Nipphausen of the Prussian regiments. They all used the Morris Jumel Mansion as their headquarters, and then in later years it was the retirement home of Aaron Burr, who married the widow Jumel, spent all of her money, and was actually in the process of being divorced when he finally died, way on up in his 80s, around 1836 I believe it was. Beautiful home, lovingly preserved. One of the things you see me holding here is a cannonball fired by the British Army at George Washington when it was his headquarters. Beautiful place to visit, highly recommended. Now back to the video. Well, good morning YouTube. It is Sunday morning after a very eventful day yesterday. We are about to head out on today's adventure. Today we're going to go to the Hamilton Grange, which is Alexander Hamilton's home. We'll be attending a wreath laying service at Trinity Cemetery at Hamilton's grave. And then tonight we're going to go to Francis Tavern, one of the oldest operating facilities in New York. It was also the site of Washington's farewell dinner with the officers of the Continental Army, so it's going to be a big day. Okay, here we are. This is the original location of Hamilton's home. It's been moved a couple of blocks, but you can see the statue right behind me. This is where Alexander Hamilton lived during the last few years of his life. Well, this is it. This is Alexander Hamilton's home. It's the only house that he ever owned. He built it during the last years of his life and lived here for several years. It's been moved a couple of times, but the National Park Service has done its best to restore it to its original condition. We'll be touring it here in a few minutes. This is going to be real quick, but I'm in the foyer of Hamilton's home. That's a copy of the original bust that was done during his life. And then the famous portrait in the background. You can see behind me there the sitting room. Over here is the dining room. And then right in here is the study. It's such a priceless opportunity to be here. And I hope he approves.
On behalf of the National Park Service and Hamilton Grange National Memorial, I want to say welcome to you all. And a special thanks to the Alexander Hamilton Awareness Society for helping to put on this wonderful event for Celebrate Hamilton 2022. Without further ado, I want to introduce you to the man himself, Colonel Hamilton, First Secretary of the Treasury.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is so nice to be here today. Today, with my son Philip by my side, I thought of no better topic to speak to you today than of money. For we are all enjoying our liberties, we're all enjoying our independence, but money is something which is often on our minds on a more practical basis. And I take it that you have faith in your money. You have faith that your money will be accepted. You have faith that your money will be freely exchanged. But that faith did not come easily. That faith cost a great deal. It cost a great deal to me personally in order to ensure that the fledgling nation and our fledgling economy would grow to great heights.
Well, here I am with the man himself, Mr. Alexander Hamilton. It is a pleasure to be at your home today.
It is my honor to invite you in to see the great splendor that is possible here in New York.
Marvelous. And I think I showed you a copy of the book that I wrote.
I am very much in favor of this book. If I only had a wee bit more time, this would have been real history.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
My pleasure as well.